I decided that regardless of what state the movie is in, I have got to get in the edit bay with somebody and start constructing this thing, because once I can start that forward progress, I know that it will eventually get done.
I see a crazy face. It takes a second to warm up, but hold on. Okay. It was a huge thing for me because I had never done anything like that, and I
Really? You've never done a feature before?
Never edited a feature before. This is my first feature.
He hadn't?
All right, so no, he had never edited a feature before.
Really?
But I knew that I needed somebody like him, who I considered a friend, that I could basically live with for a period of about 6 months.
I can guarantee you I've seen every single frame of that 52 hours of footage, and I've analyzed every single one of every moment and second, and even when the marker snapped, we were like, is that a good one? Monty is the kind of guy that takes 45-minute showers, not because he's cleaning himself, but he's thinking about those 4 frames that you just moved. Will it be stronger this way? Will it have more impact this way? And for an editor, that's hell.
It's got to be perfect. You make a movie to be perfect, not to be riddled with mistakes. There was consideration given to some things that probably would not be noticed by anybody outside of myself.
We studied this film so much that an eye movement sometimes would look funny to us because we're just overanalyzing it so much, you know? And we would call certain things, like there's this one frame we call the lizard. Here's the lizard coming up. Monty's stare, that cold stare.
Simpson's mouth.
The Simpson mouth is when he goes in his room, he turns up the music, and when he's crying, his silhouette against the blinds, he has a little bit of
space in between.
With the lips sticking out.
And it looks like a
there it is.
Cartoon character.
His lips.
The bone claw.
This paw right here.
That's a shot of my hand.
We call that sucker the bone claw because it's almost like a horror movie. How that sucker could literally want to rip her head off.
I say, hey, where's my little brother? Was he out here drinking with you guys? And Jimmy says, no, we haven't seen him.
And I see this kid in the background who
took it upon himself to put in a world-class reaction performance. Yeah, we're nitpicking things that nobody's ever gonna notice, that's for sure.
If people are watching for this thing, this moment that you're focusing your energy on right now, then we're doing a terrible job of telling this story right now.
If you're really gonna nitpick it, yeah. The collar is probably a little bit crooked here.
What?
But is it gonna distract the average audience member the first time they see the film? No.
He knew that. It's just, he's just such a perfectionist that those little things that would happen would be bigger to him. You know, those things are on jumbotrons to him.
Well, with DVD, you can pause, rewind, and go frame by frame. Watch it again and again.
You should be so lucky.
Yeah, no kidding. But you've got to approach it that way. You've got to approach it as if it's going to be dissected.
This is editing school for me. This scene coming up here, I wanted to make this Requiem for a Dream moment where he goes in, is like, and like he's pulling out this weak, and you know, it's just like this whole editor's like cum wad, cuts to her, bada boom, bada bang. Visual, it's a visual medium, man. Monty was like, hold on a second, hold on. And I was like, no, dude, hold on, I'm making this thing. I'm like cutting it up. I'm like just fucking up his moment there. And he's like, dude, this isn't about that. This moment isn't about that. And so I watched the scene and I'm like, you know what? This could be a really cool moment. I found this Insider from the movie Insider, this track of this like solo piano playing in a concert hall. Put it on that scene and it was just so deep when we heard that solo piano playing over the mom doing drugs and him smoking weed. And so that the composer took that and then it became a motif then whenever like moments like that would happen.
There was some temp score on there, and it was a good point of reference, you know. And I think it helped everyone get into a more intangible kind of feeling as they were watching the movie. I think, you know, music can do that sometimes, and it helped having it there. But he was open to, you know, anything. It's really a good collaboration.
It's really tough talking to somebody in terms of music when you don't have a musical background. We talked a lot about moods and tones and sometimes even verbal impersonations of what it was I hoped it would sound like, and somehow he was able to understand what it was I wanted.
What do you mean by verbal impersonations?
You know, like, dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun, something like that.
A lot of consistency throughout the whole movie. Really elongated, slowed down, almost like the strings are at half speed. You know, everything was, the intention was to just elasticate time and then float these sort of piano, slow moving piano melodies over them, like priming you to get into your emotions more, to get you into this sort of trippy kind of headspace. It's a little trippy. I don't know how else to say that, which I wouldn't normally describe orchestra music to be.
Okay, you want to know what that is? That's a monitor.
Yeah, well, it looks like one.
Yeah, but that orchestra's in Prague.
You're kidding.
No, that orchestra's in Prague.
There's orchestras all over the world, and you can record with a teleconference connection. We start at 6 in the morning.
They've got their orchestra set up in Prague, and Anthony is directing.
And we were looking at a screen and talking to them, and by the time we finish, it's their midnight.
So that's how we got a 40-piece orchestra
We had a 60-piece, I think.
for a fraction of what it would cost here.
As far as I know, out of his own pocket, he came up with an orchestra budget, and we turned it into an orchestra score, which is pretty unheard of. My agent was like, saying, how's he gonna do this? And then we asked him how, and then Monty just said, oh, well, can I put it on my credit card? And I thought, you know what, let's find out.
We go in there and, you know, sit down, and all our friends. I mean, that was like my high school reunion.
Only for the biggest events can you get all your friends back together in town, and this was a big event.
Everybody who was there I think they were just really proud of us, you know. They didn't expect to see a well-made film, because why would you?
I was prepared to lie and say that I liked the movie, but I wasn't prepared to tell the truth and say I liked the movie. I was like, wow, that kind of caught me off guard.
And I'm watching it with my wife, who's really objective, and we're both crying because this guy's coming from the heart.
I was absolutely stunned. How wonderful it was, how great the acting was, how fabulous the relationship with the boys was, how good he is.
That night was just incredible in so many different ways. Out of all my acting work I've done to date, I'm most proud of my work in Self-Medicated.
It was the most exciting day in my life, other than the day that I gave birth to him. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just, I don't know, it made everything that he ever did bad worth it. Yeah. I mean, it was just, well, you know, it was just, I don't know, it's something that I'll never forget exactly how I felt. Sitting right next to him. It was exciting because I was so proud of my son. I was just so proud. And that's all a mom wants.